Randwani, Public Sector Executive at Cisco South Africa. I think for most of us, some of these guys don't even have to read their CVs, because I think for Agnes, some of us call him, has been one of our stalwarts. He understands ICT, he's got global experience, he's been with most multinationals, the IBM, HP, currently Cisco. So I think he's a relevant guy to come and give us a brief. I don't want to really go through your CV, you all have it, you're a well-known person within the ICT sector. You're welcome, Brad. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. MC. Thanks, Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Dignitaries, the CIO of Eastern Cape, all protocol observed. It really is a privilege. I already feel like I'm at home. It's really been a privilege the past couple of years working with Motse and the local BITF, Business Unity in Eastern Cape. I've been here a couple of times where we shared ideas, shared programs and things that we do, so to the extent that one feels really at home here. And I must say on behalf of Cisco that we are really, really humbled and very grateful to be part of Eastern Cape going forward. We have been part of this for the past 4 years, I think, I would say. And we've seen and want to measure how we do in the region on very tangible outputs that I think we put stake in the ground and see what the outcome is. Now, the theme for today is it's convergence, and I was thinking, listening to the previous very great speakers talking about convergence from a technology solution point of view, and I'm saying I probably was going to repeat that, and I don't want to go that way. So I thought, all of this that Telkom was saying, that Vodacom was saying, that IS was saying, gee, I'm sitting slap bang in the middle. They are my partners, they are customers. They actually, the network layer is mine, so which is a great position to be in, and thank you very much. So I said I would spare everybody the agony of that, but just go back, because our new approach for this year, we said let's really look what government wants to do, and then we revisited the government program of action and said, okay, if we sit with our consultants and begin to distill and devolve, when we say we're looking at issues like rural development, we're looking at issues like education and skills development, we're looking at issues safety and security, we're looking at health, particularly for an emerging province, an emerging country like South Africa. What precisely can Cisco do? Obviously not Cisco in isolation, but Cisco with its partners. I was talking to Johan now to say, how far are we with building that ECRAN solution, and we're sharing ideas and practical things that we can do. Obviously, in the scheme of things, we would have players like our service providers, the telecoms, the Vodacoms, even the Centex, even CETA, it's a service provider with about 26 POPs around the country. So what is tangible, I would imagine, to the powers that be is something that can be delivered that actually changes lives. Okay. Now, it means I want to move just slightly higher than the actual technology, because everybody has defined it very precisely. About 5 years ago, we started the Net Academy program in the country, and in Eastern Cape in particular, and Nelson Mandela University, it's a key area where we actually try and groom the next engineers, network engineers, train people to be able to run networks. And I'm just highlighting the high points there. I must say that I can mention that we have actually graduated over 6,000 students, graduates throughout the country through this program. So to us it's a tick, it's a milestone. And we're getting more and more adoption of it. And this is tangible, it's something we can go to anybody to say, really, this is measurable. On top of it, obviously everybody's effort at the back. And I must mention as well that I was lucky to be invited when we installed young entrepreneurs. Our involvement is not only about, we have to make money, definitely, and we're not the cheapest. But we do engage ourselves in social programs. We're invited to come install or participate where a young entrepreneur and an ex-offender, by the way, was starting a new company in Google. I think we see here. And at that dinner, we expected the Minister, I think, of Defense, and I think we had to read a speech because he didn't make it. But we had some serious dignitaries from Department of Defense. And the issue they were raising to me is that, there was a choir on stage, and look at this choir. It was about 100 or so youngsters, probably 18 to 22, beautiful youngsters, probably who'd done some stupid offense, DACA or something like that were being prepared for parole. And they were beautiful kids. And the commander, the lady was the commander of one of the prisons, the commissioner, my apologies, said, actually, what can we do in real terms? What can we do to reintegrate these youngsters into society? And I said, yeah, I'm sure you can do stuff. So subsequently that, we've been in discussion with the department with what we call, it's an ex-offender rehabilitation program. So we're looking to use technology in meaningful ways to say, what can we deliver? So it's still in the process, but we say, we can use DMS, for example, to message certain things. We can then integrate Net Academy to start training them on CCNP, CCNA, as well. But it shouldn't be only a commitment from ourselves, but it should be a commitment from government itself. And I'm saying, okay, now would you be able or willing, under the parole conditions, whatever, to reintegrate these youngsters so they begin to run your networks, so it is to create employment. So it's one idea that we're looking at. Following on that, I think the third year, I came and spoke about video arraignment. We're using the same technologies. Do we have to move a prisoner from Cape Town to Polokwane and then remand the case for 6 months and all of that? So I know that even in their departments, we're beginning to look at that to say, how best do we do it? Is it practical? Obviously, we need the broadband, we need connectivity, we need all the players to come help us put together. But these then are, continues to be the real bedrock of where we want to have tangible solutions to say, okay, what precisely are we doing? With the background of the developmental state of our country. Now, this year, we're beginning to look at the government program in action and say, okay, practically, what can we do? So, our focus at Cisco in public sector, I must emphasize, the government public sector focus, is to look at health, is to look at education, safety and security, which is where we believe we are strongest. Obviously, working with the police, we're rolling out new networks, particularly under the pressure of 2010, to make sure that we can create mobile solutions for, IPEX, for instance, video surveillance, that what they're showing outside there, and deploy these kind of solutions like that. The test of the video surveillance, the mobile units were at the Concave in Rustenburg, and when we deployed this and quickly, we could actually see the result. When we did the inauguration of the presidents, we had all of those there. People are not aware of it, but we had a lot of this stuff there. So these are the tangible things. One hopes that in partnership with government, in partnership with our service providers and other interested parties, we can't do all 100 of them. We can choose and say, this is stuff that we can do. So with that in mind, I thought then, talking about convergence, I wanted to just share a simple example. I don't want to run through all the slides because a lot of people have done that. That we're beginning to focus on. That this year we've actually built, those kind of virtualization solutions that we believe can help in addressing, remote health solutions. I think Chris alluded to e-health, but different companies term it differently. But in our case, we're looking directly at how it helps in the public sector space. How do we alleviate the long queues? How do we alleviate hospitals? How do we alleviate the hospital staff, the clinicians, and all of that? What can we do to really connect up to a remote village where there are no services and actually get the service? So other people call it telemedicine, call it whatever. But then practically we're trying to build that kind of capability. I will just flick to this slide here. Okay, what you're seeing in front of you there is just an example. I don't want to go into technical detail. An example of how we believe we can try and take a generic presentation like this and localize it. You can take it to Eastern Cape. In practical terms, we're working, for example, with Gauteng Health. We're rolling out the big networks for that. Starting with Bara, Helen Joseph, and all that. But after that, they're saying we need to be able to connect 400 clinics. What do we do? Now we're working to say, okay, we have health EHR, health record that can be plugged into it, so that then you have an old Dani that goes to Bara and doesn't get the right medicine. So the friend tells him, no, you can go to Helen Joseph or go to this clinic. Now, if you look at the cost of just generating an X-ray plate, which is costly.